Are you ready? It's time for another episode of TFTC Sports. It's your host, Chico Grande, aka Chico 2 times, and my co-host.
Yeah! You already know what time it is. It's your boy, Jesse J. Feel Supreme 305, man. You coming to you live, man. Start playing the TFTC Sports. Let's rock.
I'm excited. It's the playoffs.
I know, man. This song got me hyped. I'm ready to catch a pigskin. Don't hit me in the brag basket, coach. I'm ready to put it in the dirt. But
I heard you caught more than the pigskin last season.
Pause, man. Pause, man. We ain't on that. We ain't on that Jason Tatum. We ain't JT. We ain't fumbling in the bag.
I gotta turn it down.
You finna blow the eardrums out, man.
Sorry,
but like I said
people.
before, man, it's TFTC Sports, man. Home of the sports news. Home of all.
Welcome to Sports Nation.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Sports
NBA
Nation.
playoffs. Welcome to Sports Nation. It's TFTC Sports, and we're about to break it down. We got some news in the basketball world, so let's go ahead and get started.
Man, first off, I wanted to say,
Ooh,
what?
MVP.
Oh, so you're excited
Is
about
that
this?
your MVP?
You excited about this, man? I knew he was gonna win from day one, man.
I knew once he had that haircut.
Exactly, man. I seen it, man. He been, like I said, man, almost the past 2-3 seasons, he's been the runner-up. Only reason he didn't win it was because he wasn't doing enough games. And then this year, I think he did around, 61, 62 games?
Yeah, but they didn't have the requirement before. They're having the requirement now. But even then, they still did kind of deduct him points because he didn't play that much.
But do you think he
So
deserves
they would
it?
factor that in.
So wait. So who you thought was supposed to get it? Did you think Joel was supposed to get it for real?
I actually thought it was between Jokic and Giannis because they both had
Giannis.
they both had the number one teams in the East and in the West, and they both were in the points. They all kind of had the stats with if you look at the kind of totality, Joel might have had the more points, but if you go look at how many rebounds, how many assists, field goal percentage, 3-point, all of that, when you factor all of that in, I honestly thought it was more between Giannis and Jokic. But, in Joel's team, he did miss a handful of games, and then his team was, what seed were they, the fifth? Fourth?
The 4th seed?
I forget.
Comment below.
I'm pulling it up, man. That's why I have my phone out. Don't mind me. Go ahead.
Nah, but I mean, I already knew off back Joel Embiid was finna win as soon as Kendrick Perkins dropped that bomb against JJ Redick on
they were the 3 seed.
It's on the 3. They're the 3 seed. But as soon as Kendrick Perkins talked about, oh yeah, man, it's racist. They racist. They just want Joel Embiid to be to 3-peat.
He led the march for Joel to get the MVP.
And then everybody started talking about how soft Joel and how soft Jokic was, how he plays no defense. He's been giving you the same thing every year. He's not getting any better. So I guess,
but his stats were actually better than this year than both of his MVP seasons, and he had the number one team in the West, and the West had about 11 or 12 teams out of the 15 teams in the Western Conference were pretty solid teams. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you had Dallas that had Kyrie and Luka, and they didn't even make the playoffs. That's because of the Kyrie curse, not because of the Luka. So blame all your hate on Kyrie like I do. But you had some solid teams. OKC didn't make it in the. Yeah, they lost in the play-in, right?
Yeah, they lost in the okay.
And they were a really exciting team. They could beat any of the teams that even the Denver any night, depending on if their team was hot. So it was a highly contested Western Conference, and Jokic came out on top. And the East is honestly, I think only 6 teams in the East were good compared to 12 in the West, and they came in third. So I don't know. So that's just the way I was looking at it.
So is Joel Embiid top 3 Philly players of all time now? Now that he got this MVP? Yeah. Allen Iverson.
Andre Iguodala.
What? As a Sixer?
He had all his All-Star appearances as a Sixer. And then he was the Finals MVP for Golden State.
Comment below. What's your 3 all-time? Give me 5 all-time best 76ers. Oh, Julius Dr. J. You got Dr. J. You got Allen Iverson.
Lou Williams.
Lou Will was nice, but nah, not Lou Will.
Yeah.
Nah. You see, Chris Webber. What? Chris Webber was a Sixer.
He wasn't that. They weren't that good. Elton Brand.
Man, whatever, man. But man, comment below, man. How y'all feel about this MVP voting? Do you feel like everybody just felt sorry for Joel Embiid and they just handed it to him because they was tired of seeing them cry and they're tired of seeing them on Shaq and the Fool getting cracked on by Shaq and Chuck?
Yeah, and I think they felt sorry for him because he usually gets smacked by the Celtics every year, so they wanted to give him a consolation prize. But no, Joel's good. I would say he's actually now probably the top two, only behind Iverson as the second greatest Philly player. No, I don't know. He maybe put Dr. J in front of him. Put Dr. J. I'd have him third.
Okay, you have to. He's
or you know what? Charles Barkley.
He was a Sixer?
His young career. He started off. He was actually on a couple teams with Dr. J. But he only went to the finals as a Phoenix Sun, so I don't know. But Joel's had a better career than that, so I would put him third.
But how about the disrespect? For some strange reason, this season the NBA has just been real disrespectful. They've been disrespectful with Dillon Brooks, and they also disrespectful once again to the King LeBron James. I don't know how come they continue to do this. This time around, my dog had 0 votes. And it makes no sense. He like almost 50 years old, still dropping 40 points on everybody.
What's crazy is like, you know, LeBron came out when I was in middle school, and I was in middle school a long time ago. So
like he came out like LeBron James came out like in 03.
Yeah, and I was like in middle school.
It's crazy. Was it 03? I think it was around. Yeah.
Yeah, around.
It was around 03. Yeah. And I mean, like they show like, but as soon as he came in the league, I want to say at least a quarter of the time he's been in the league, he's always been in the top. Always been in the top 3.
Oh, I think it was even higher than that. I think they said like 40% of his career that he was in the top 3 for MVP voting. That he actually won 4, but was top 2 for 8 of them. So they said that he should have had more. Closer to 8, but he only had 4. And then Gilbert Arenas was talking about that his belief is that some of the voters, Joker stole one from LeBron. LeBron was supposed to win that one. And disrespectful. Yeah, that I would say so. But they didn't do good.
That's why they beat him and won a championship.
But saying that some of the voters, like because they love Michael so much, that they didn't vote for LeBron. Because they didn't want LeBron to catch Michael in one of the GOAT categories.
I'm tired of all these old commentators always on Michael Jordan nuts. They don't want nobody to be greater than Michael Jordan.
It's okay. Not that they don't want no one to be greater. It's just facts. No one is greater than Michael Jordan. No one ever. Not even LeBron, not Kobe. I actually, in my all-time basketball of everness draft, I would have Michael, Kobe, then LeBron being third.
Michael as your best all time in your Mount Rushmore?
If I'm picking a pickup game and I get to choose every player that ever lived, Michael would be my first pick, Kobe would be my second pick, and LeBron would be my third pick if I could choose anyone of all time of basketball history. Because Michael's the GOAT, Kobe's the closest thing, and then LeBron's the best all-around player beyond that. Okay. I like Kobe's killer mentality more than LeBron's intangibles because when it came down to the end of the game, Kobe could hit free throws where LeBron's sweating at the line. There was no issue. Kobe could even hit left-hand free throws.
Let me think.
Kobe shot free throws when he snapped his Achilles. He's not weak. But speaking of weak,
let me think. No. Let me pick my team. I'm thinking. You picking those 3.
I was just going to show him the clip real quick of Embiid winning his thing and let you think about it.
All right, play it. Let me think.
So we got Embiid. It looked like he's fake crying, not sincere. But let's watch the clip.
The 2023 MVP from the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, look at his little face. That's so fake. They said he knew for a while.
He knew for a while he's gonna win? You think so?
Look at James hugging him.
Heard
He's like, I could have still be MVP if I didn't have to pass to you so much.
Facts. I heard he got a Rolex.
Yeah. So how did he already know?
Not be possible, without you guys. All you guys. Not just the players. For the guys that have been here with me, since the process days, we've been through a lot. And thank you guys for always believing in me. Like I said, I appreciate you guys, and we're gonna celebrate this, like I said, for 5 minutes. It's been longer than 5 minutes, but we're gonna do it and focus on game 2.
All right, I got my team. I got Kawhi.
Oh my God.
T-Mac.
Oh my God.
And I got Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, put in the comments below who would win. My top 3 versus his top 3.
My top 3 is gonna blow you already know Scottie Pippen been telling everybody that Michael Jordan could have been Michael Jordan without him. He's been saying that out of his mouth for the longest.
It was his Robin. Every superstar needs a Robin.
Man, when he go around talking to these baddies, he was Batman.
But you know how Batman always treats Robin. He's Robin. He's my son.
Yeah, whatever.
So that's how he was gonna treat him.
Yeah, I mean, some people say Scotty was better, but I mean,
no one ever said that ever.
Listen, yes, man. Hey,
no one with a brain said that.
Yeah,
maybe some Chat GPT like Model 1 said that, but not even Model 4 knows better.
But listen, do you know better? Do you know who's gonna win this series is coming up? This series is going on right now.
Man, no, I want to say one thing. I want to say I wish that they would announce the MVP as soon as the regular season ended. Because I don't like this coming out in the second round.
Why?
I always because it's a regular season award, so they should give it like right after the play-in. Like when the play-in's done and the real playoffs are about to start, they should give the award right then. So that way they can know what's going on. Because like back in the day, whenever the Spurs and what's his name, not David Robinson won the MVP, and they played the Houston Rockets, and Hakeem Olajuwon thought that he should have won it. He destroyed David Robinson in that playoff series, and he, like the night he got his MVP trophy, Hakeem Olajuwon dropped like 50 on him because he was mad that he didn't get it. So like I like that. I like them getting it at the beginning of the playoffs, and they got that pressure of them right away immediately instead of waiting to the second round.
Jokic ain't finna drop 50 points on Embiid.
I mean, they could only play in the finals.
Let's see here.
It was just lucky that both the guys contenders were in the West that year, but I just like the pressure of like, oh, you're the MVP, but you know what's going on. We're watching this on what is this, Wednesday night? We're after the game, so you know what happens when the MVP suits up? L's anthem, baby. L's anthem on Joel's MVP trophy. They're better without you. What an MVP is that? But we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. We got to start off with the banger of the series, which I think will be the biggest series in the whole second round.
Facts.
We got
Laker Nation, baby. We got the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors. We going on game 2. I think game 2 is tomorrow.
I'll check. Go ahead.
I think game 2 is tomorrow. I mean, this first game was epic. I mean, I already knew what was going to happen. I already knew that once we started this series, all that Looney getting all 30 rebounds a game was going in. I know it was 20 rebounds. I'm exaggerating. But all of them, Looney getting all them rebounds was going in because everybody knows Sabonis.
Yeah, there's only one game tomorrow. It's Lakers Warriors. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Central Time. So we'll definitely be checking that out. We might even be at the gym.
Do you think who do you think all 3 of the Splash Brothers are finna drop 50 points this next game, or you think it's gonna be?
Well, see, that's the tough part for the game. When you look at the Lakers, they have a bunch of stuff that they can improve on. They had a bunch of turnovers. LeBron could have played better. He shot badly. AD didn't really. He played good whole game, but he didn't show up in the fourth quarter.
He played like the whole second half. How much?
But he didn't score at all in the fourth quarter. And LeBron didn't really score in the fourth quarter, and they had a lot of mistakes when they let them come back on that 14, 15-0 run, whatever it was. And, they have a lot of stuff that they could clean up. But the issue that a lot of people are noticing for the Golden State Warriors is that when you look at them, Curry had a great game. Clay had a decent game. He could play maybe a little bit better. Draymond had a pretty good game.
But he got a foul trouble.
Jordan Poole had a good game. You know, he was like 6 of 11 for you know, before he took that last shot, he was 6 of 10. So he was shooting 60% from 3, and then he shot that last shot, which I know was a good look for, you know, the Golden State splash triplets, you should call them now, because it's not bros, it's triplets. You know, I know they can all hit from that range, but I feel like he had room to get a step in. I know the guy was closing out on him, but I feel like he could have got at least one step in and maybe got a little umph into his shot, because it's a little bit easier taking a step into a long 3 rather than shooting a long 3 flat-footed.
I think he should have stepped back and hit it and went further back. He would have hit it then.
Farther back.
Because he hit the rim.
He don't have Hall of Fame deep range.
It's not like he did a rim.
He did hit the rim, but so that's what I'm saying. I feel like if he hit the front of the rim. That's what I'm saying. I feel like if he would have took a step into it, it may have got a little umph just to get over the front of the rim, and he would have made it. But, you know, it's a shot that they would live with.
And we got to send our prayers and condolences to, what's his name? Reeves? What's his name?
Austin Reeves?
Austin Reeves, because Hillbilly Kobe, because Klay Thompson is cooking him. Every time Klay Thompson getting the ball, you see little Austin Reeves getting smacked in the face with a screen. I don't know what
I think his problem is that he's too big. He's really like a small forward, power forward, and they have him playing shooting guard. So instead of going against guys that are more his size, he's going against, you know, Poole, Curry, and Klay. And they're all small.
That's all 3 positions. What else can he can't do nothing else?
No, but I'm saying they're all smaller and quicker. They're not like big guards or a big forward. Like Clay's a shooting guard, Jordan Poole's a combo guard, and Curry's a point guard. So they're all smaller than him, and they're all faster. That's why he's having such a problem, because he's a bigger guy trying to run around screens and chase these little guys around that can get around corners a lot faster than he can. It's almost like a truck is chasing a sports car. That sports car is going to be able to hug those corners a lot more when they're setting screens rather than a truck. So I feel like that's why he's having the problem. And it's, you know, I don't know. It's kind of tough because, you know, it depends on, you know, what lineup they want to go with. I mean, if they want to have him, you know, be the shooting guard rather than the small forward.
But I mean, this time, I mean, Austin Reeves, he did surprise me, because I would have thought he would have been tired chasing around Steph Curry, chasing around Klay. But towards like the fourth quarter, or third and fourth quarter, he was making a couple threes. He was making them buckets. But I mean, also, I mean, that's why the Lakers is real deep. So they got like,
oh yeah, because that's what they do. They start Davis at center, Vanderbilt at power forward, LeBron at small forward, and then Reeves at shooting guard, and then what's his name, Russell at point. So that, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's kind of pushed down because he's a better player that they need to start. But he's, you know, really a small forward, power forward, but they have him playing shooting guard because. Honestly, I would like to see like LeBron play power forward, Reeves play small forward, and then you could have Schroeder and Russell play the 1 and the 2, and they would be smaller and quicker to cover him. But you did see a lot of them in together in the game because of that reason when they made their first substitutions.
It don't matter. Reeves is getting cooked like barbecue chicken.
But I'm telling you why. They don't need to have their big lineup in for long before they make substitutions and put another small in so they could cover better. If they're going to start Reeves, I mean, I think you're subbing in at like the 4. You're going to sub in at the 4-minute mark.
So what you want Reeves to play?
Small forward.
You want Reeves getting stuck by Klay?
Klay plays shooting guard or small forward. I mean, he's
going to play small forward.
He's just going to have to suck it up, hillbilly.
Exactly.
No, I mean on Klay. I think he's acceptable.
He's going to suck it up with any guard.
I think he is acceptable for him to be on Klay. It's not acceptable for him to get switched on Curry or Poole. He should never be chasing Curry or Poole. Klay, even though you really don't want it, that's at least acceptable. But it's not acceptable with Curry or Poole. You got it like... I remember playing, like, I know all about playing Golden State because playing them in 2K on Hall of Fame for years, especially when they had Kevin Durant, they, like, you literally can't make a mistake when you're playing them on Hall of Fame. You have to play dang near a whole game perfect. And so it's like you have to cover the shooters and you leave Draymond open, and whoever's guarding Draymond is the help. He's LeBron? Basically the roamer.
That's LeBron.
Exactly. LeBron can also rest on defense since he's old. So he can rest those knees and guard Draymond, like, guard Draymond, really be the help, and and do that. So that's what I always did whenever I beat the Warriors playing 2K, is you have whoever's guarding Draymond be the roamer, and you stay home on all the shooters.
All right, but we're going to see how this goes
You
tonight.
got to force feed Anthony Davis. You got to be a big boy, Anthony Davis.
You
You don't need to shoot a million threes. You need to get in the paint. One in the paint and two. Wait, that's the wrong quote.
Wrong quote.
Wrong quote.
Okay, but like I said, man, the game's coming on tonight. I need y'all to comment below who y'all think gonna win tonight. Who gonna get this series?
We got to put who we're gonna pick for the series. Go ahead. Who
I'm
you got?
picking Lakers. You know, Lakers all the way.
How many
baby.
games?
This is going 6 games. This is going 6 games.
I'm gonna go the same. Lakers in 6.
Lakers in 6. Lakers in 6.
We're gonna cover the first round at the end of the covering the second round right here. Just do a little first round recap. So if you're really into basketball, stay into that. But let's go and jump into the next series.
We got the Knicks, the New York Knickerbockers, and we got the Miami Heat. You know, right now, I'm so proud of my Miami Heat because they wasn't even supposed to be here. Every time you turn around, Kyle Lowry injured, Tyler Hero out.
He's out for good.
And he was supposed to, and that was after he said he was supposed to be the next Luka Doncic, the next Luka. Remember that?
Luka Doncic, yeah.
But I mean,
Luka the Don.
You know, Jimmy Butler is out right now. I think it's still questionable if he's going to play Game 3. I hope he does play Game 3. But, I mean, right now it really doesn't matter because whoever wins is going to be up for just one game.
To be honest, even though it's a tied series, I'm disappointed in the Knicks. I don't think that they should have lost Game 1. They came out flat. And then, honestly, people are really excited, Knicks fans, that they came back and tied Game 2. But I'm actually even disappointed even though they won the game because the way that I look at it is that Jimmy Butler didn't play, who is their best player. They basically decided to rest him because they already got the split. So they basically we're just going to take a L on Game 2. Mm-hmm. And then the other guys actually played so good that they were in this game until like the last 2 minutes. Like, this was a close game. They dang near took Game 2 without their best player. So if Jimmy's able to play for the rest of the series, it's going to be tough. I know Julius Randle missed Game 1, but he was they played better without him in the lineup, and he even got benched in the last series. And they, for them to close out, they played better without him.
But one thing I also got to say is I got to give it to the Miami Heat and all these random players they have stepping up. Because every time you turn around, it's
the Love Doctor's back.
Not even him. The
Strus,
Vincent,
Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent, like Gabe Vincent came out. Gabe Vincent came out of nowhere, dropped like 20-something points.
I don't know what happened. Like, I remember they had their lineup with like Hero and Duncan Robinson and Adebayo and those be their main guys.
Yeah.
But then they randomly give Vincent minutes, who I've never heard of before in his whole life, and he starts killing it where he eventually kills it so much they move Lowry to the backup point. That's how good he's been playing.
And supposedly he has the green light because at the end of the game he was just chucking threes.
Yeah, and then they also had Strus, who I had never heard before from college or from any other team. Mm-hmm. And he joins the team randomly, and he plays so good that he gets Duncan Robinson's minutes. So it's like they got all these random players that some of their supposed good players are actually relegated to a smaller role or completely out of the rotation. So it's been really interesting to see Miami, but they've been a really solid team in this playoffs, and I'm actually worried about the Knicks. I don't know if they're gonna do it. Do you have a pick on this series?
Man, I need Bam Adebayo to go crazy. He needs to make what's the name? What's the center for the Knicks name?
Mitchell Robinson.
He needs to make Mitchell Robinson come out and guard the shot, moving around, hit some screens, do something, get him out the paint because
Mitchell Robinson's a beast.
He's a beast. Like, he's over here a beast, and he got the height difference is just crazy.
Oh, if you want to see the Knicks beast for real, check me out on TFTC Gaming. Your boy Chico Grande got a my player, Chico O-Block, and I got drafted by the Knicks. I play Hall of Fame on Xbox One X. You can check us out on Twitch, TFTC, or Tales from the Crib, and our other YouTube channel in the link, TFTC Gaming. I'm averaging 50 points a game. I'm basically the next coming of Michael Jordan.
Man, what's up with
Julius? If you want greatness, check me out on TFTC Gaming.
This man's trash. Hey man, what's up with Julius
Chico
Randle?
O-Block's the truth. I'm gonna get an MVP trophy this year.
Do you think they finna trade Julius Randle at the end of the season?
I would.
If they lose, let's say if they lose this series, do you think they're gonna trade him?
They're gonna trade Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and a handful of draft picks for Luka.
Oh my God!
And then Luka will be back with JB, but he'll have mighty Mitchell Robinson. He'll finally have a real center.
And Hart.
And Josh Hart, who's cool. Cool guy.
All right, so this game coming up. Next game is on Saturday. Saturday at 3. Who you got
in the series?
No, this game's coming up on Saturday. Game 3.
Heat. If Jimmy, it just depends. If Jimmy plays, Heat for sure. If Jimmy doesn't play, it's a toss-up. I don't know. They might, because I think they might. The role players usually get really hyped when they finally have a home game in the playoffs. So usually that's almost the biggest game.
So what if Jimmy don't play, and Randall starts for the Knicks?
The Knicks will win.
Knicks
most likely.
With Randall starting?
I mean, they said he was injured is why he was playing bad. But if you've watched my career on TFTC Gaming, you would know that Randall sucks every night. And that I get no assists when I pass to Randall. Even when I set him up with a perfect layup, he will miss the layup, get his own rebound, and then make it. I think just so I don't get my assist.
I mean, it's not my fault.
He's a true player hater.
He has Steph Curry dreams. He dreams to be a Steph Curry. You see him taking a step back threes.
He's trying to be Anthony Davis Jr. and he's 300 pounds. Get your 300-pound butt in the paint and put it on someone, and then you can do easy layups all day. You're too strong.
Oh, man.
So my co-host knows, when you're little, you get bullied in the paint.
This guy's trash, man.
Man, I bullied this man.
Speaking of
we get big boy buckets.
Oh, Lord. Speaking of needing big boy buckets, this next topic right here, man. This next topic right here, the Suns and the Denver Nuggets is just depressing.
It's over.
It's 2-0 right now. Right now, it's 2-0 right now. I think they're finna go to Phoenix, but it really don't matter. I mean, like the way they playing, the Knicks. I mean, not the Knicks, the Denver Nuggets. They just been together for so long. Like they just got it together. And
the key thing this year is that Jamal Murray is finally healthy again. So
True.
You already have an MVP level player in Jokic, and then you get a guy in Murray that he's almost like a J.R. Smith, but a little more consistent, where at any given night he can be as good as any player on the planet.
And then all you really need is just a fourth player, because you already know what's his name, Porter,
Michael Porter Jr. And then you also have Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. One of them two gonna give you at least 20 points, and then if all else fails, KCP is going. I know he can.
KCP been stepping up. He looks like as good as he did when the Lakers won the bubble championship.
Yeah, I don't know. And then with the whole the Phoenix Suns, I mean the Phoenix Buns.
Buns, shout out Flight.
The Phoenix Buns. I mean,
TFTC,
I don't know.
Flight team stand up.
Horrible. I don't know what's wrong with this team. Like the fact that Chris Paul is injured, which already makes sense. Everybody knew he was going to be injured.
He's looking like my co-host. Out here pulling groins, if you know what I'm saying.
Man, nah, never that.
That's what happens when you're old and you try to do too much.
Horrible. But now it's all down to I really just feel like it's just Booker and Kevin Durant, because DeAndre Ayton, he didn't really want to be there.
He's been playing like garbage.
He don't want to be there.
He's played mediocre, but it's like in spots. Like, yeah, he'll technically have a decent stats at the end of the night when you look at the box score. But if you're watching the play live and you're actually looking at the eye test, you'll saw like clips of him where he was just watching.
Oh, that one made me so mad when he was just standing at the backboard just looking at it.
Watching Jokic tip the ball to himself 5 times before he gets an offensive rebound and lay it up in, and he was just standing like a foot away from him. Not even he could have got deflected the ball at any point in time.
True,
go ahead.
And I like the matchups here. Because
for Denver.
Yeah, for Denver, because I mean, you got Kevin Porter Jr. I think he's got
Michael Porter.
I say Kevin Porter. Michael Porter Jr.
That's the Houston Rocket.
Michael Porter Jr. Guarding KD. Also,
Aaron Gordon's been doing a good job.
Everybody's guarding KD. You got a big body on KD at all times. You know he hates that.
They're all tall, yeah.
And then all you got is just Devin Booker. And Devin Booker is some nights he finna give you 80, other nights he just finna give you 20.
The problem with the Phoenix Suns, and I've said this, they had to get rid of too many of their rotation players to get Kevin Durant. So at the end of the day now, you just got Chris Paul, who's injured now. But at the beginning of the series, you had Chris Paul, who's old. You had Devin Booker, who's, hit or miss. He's had almost like a James Harden playoff experience. You have KD. And then you have Ayton, who's a head case. And then the rest are bums. I mean, you give guys like a Kogi and Craig, who haven't played all year, who weren't even in the rotation, who got cut from the teams they were on earlier this year. and they joined. I mean, Craig was on Denver and they cut him because he couldn't even make the rotation in Denver. So you got guys that wouldn't even make other teams starting in your starting lineup, and then also playing major minutes off the bench. And I don't know what happened to Payne. Payne was playing 50-50 minutes with Chris Paul throughout the season. And then I thought if he was injured, but then he randomly comes in and starts playing again. So I don't know if that's a coaching decision, but Payne was very good. And I don't understand why he's not getting more playing time. But I don't know. This is looking like they might get gentleman sweep. I'm talking 5 games.
You think they're finna? I mean, yeah, they got
gentleman sweep is 5 games.
And they got to get Phoenix at least 1 game. I mean, they wouldn't do my dog Katie.
I think they'll win game 3, and then I'll think they'll lose game 4, and then Denver will close it out in game 5.
They need to sign Dillon Brooks.
They don't want Dillon's curse is going to be way worse than the Kyrie curse. I can feel it.
Man. Also, yeah, starting next season, they finna need a new point guard because of Chris Payne doing bad this year. Cameron Payne doing bad this year. I mean, ain't no.
I mean, I thought Chris Paul had Cliff Paul to cover his back. I thought Cliff Paul was gonna pop up, and I thought he had his groin insured, but I guess not.
You might need Geico after all this.
But yeah, you didn't give us your pick.
Oh, for this series, I'm going.
How many games and who?
I'm giving my dog KD 2 games, so this is going 6.
Denver or Phoenix?
I'm going 6 Denver. Denver. Cause I mean, ain't no stopping it. Then also like they got Jokic. I mean, Aiden gotta really try. If Aiden really try, I give him 2 games. That's it. That's the most I give him. Besides that, they don't got no bench. They don't got nobody.
People forget too is Aiden didn't even want to be in this team anymore. He requested a trade. And then he was a restricted free agent, and he tried to sign to another team, but Phoenix matched the offer. He doesn't like Monty Williams as a coach. He beefed with him because in the series when the semifinals when they played Dallas last year and they got beat in a game 7, Ayton played like 13 minutes in that game 7 because the coach didn't like his effort or how he was playing and basically barely played him that whole game.
I mean, if you ain't doing no effort, then yeah, I'm taking you out the game.
And he felt some type of way about that. Because he felt like he wasn't even being utilized in that series, and he felt like that's why they lost, because the coach didn't know how to use him. So that's why he tried to go to another team, and they forcefully kept him, and then they wonder why it's not working. When you forcefully keep someone, it never works.
Yeah, facts, it never works.
In basketball or relationships.
Facts, man. But comment below. Let me know how y'all feel about the Denver Nuggets versus the Phoenix Suns. Let me know who you got winning this next game, and who you got winning this series. All right, but next and final game, man. We got
final
the 70.
Series. There's only 4 matchups. You got 2 in the West and 2 in the East.
We got the Phoenix. We got the 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. This is embarrassing.
I love that picture. I hate the Celtics, just so you know, but that's a cool picture.
What, the one with the championship trophies next to it?
No, the one with Jaylen Brown dunking all over.
Garrett Embiid on his MVP. How you win the MVP trophy
on your MVP same night? Lose by 40.
They lose by 40, but I mean, you know how it goes. Like when the playoffs start and you go into somebody else's home, you just playing for a split. If you win the second game, hip hip hooray!
That's icing on the cake.
It's not for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
They blew that. They blew that real bad. I'm still mad about that. But
I still don't understand why Joel played this game. I felt like that he said he was injured. That's why he wasn't playing. And then you got the split, which is all any team wants. And I feel like if James Harden's on a roll like that by being the main scorer and kind of playing that role, that you do that, you run with that game plan that got you the victory in game 2. Not because you don't trust Joel, but because it worked and you won using that formula. Why not try it one more time and give Joel an extra rest? And then the whole team, the crowd, and everyone will be super juiced when Joel gets his MVP trophy on their first home game in the series, and it'll be his first game back. I think it would have been a lot better of a reception and moment even for himself, because I think getting the MVP trophy in front of his home crowd and then being that the first game he's playing in the series and the guys being extra juiced and giving James Harden 2 full games of being the main guy and getting his rhythm, I think that would have helped the team a lot more. But I felt like this was actually even selfish on Joel Embiid's part to play this game. He should have let James Harden keep rolling him. Let him cook, as they say.
Do you think he even had a choice? I think with Doc Rivers, is Doc Rivers the coach for the The Sixers, right?
Philly, yeah.
I mean, you think he probably just made him go out there and play. Doc Rivers old school
You
with
can't
it.
trust Doc Rivers. He even traded his own son.
That's great. That's grimy. How you trade your own son? But I feel the same way. And Tobias Harris has to step up. There's no reason why you supposed to be the third star on the team. That's how they advertise the Sixers to us. And I never hear your name come up. They never talk about you at all. Only time I ever hear them talk about Tobias Harris is when they mention J. Cole.
I remember when Philly lost to Miami, and Jimmy was pretty much torturing Tobias Harris because he was trying to guard him. And then he was like, because if you don't remember, Jimmy was on Philly.
Yeah.
And it looks like Philly decided to pay Tobias over paying Jimmy. And Jimmy was like, him over me? And if you don't know, Jimmy is Himothy. And they chose
Jimmy's on fire.
They chose little Tobias that does goldfish commercials rather than Himothy. Let that sink in. That's why the process will never work, and that's why they're cursed. They got the Jimmy Butler curse.
So you think they curse as in the Celtics finna win the series?
Boston has always had Philly's number. I think if you look at ever since Joel's came in the league and actually played, because he missed his first 2 years, that I think Boston's won like 90 to 95% of the games. Like they just normally own Philly.
They have more stars.
That's all I was saying. Joel didn't play, and James Harden looked like turns back to Houston Rocket James Harden.
Yeah.
That why not let him cook and let that experiment go again? And so that way, if he's come back game 3, he's already cooking, and then y'all both can cook. But I think they messed up the formula, and I'm gonna choose Boston. It's 1-1. I'll choose Boston as 6. I don't think it's going 7. I think even though they messed up game 1, I think it's only going 6.
This is going all 7 games. This is going
Boston
all 7
7?
games. I'm going Philly.
You going Philly, Dilly?
I'm going Philly. James Harden. Going for forget.
You want to bet around the T's?
We can bet around the T's on that. We can let's shake on
just straight up. Who wins the series? I'm gonna take Boston. You take Philly.
Straight up, who wins the series? I'll take Boston.
I'll bet you around the T's.
Around the T's. Boom.
Yeah.
On that. So I mean, because with the whole thing with this, I feel like they don't want James. They don't want James Harden to have the ball in his hand 24/7 and run the team, because this is Joel Embiid team. They don't want to take that away from them. But at the same time, I think they might have to, or like.
I think Joel's a good player, but I think his play style is counterintuitive to playing Boston because they have 2 ginormous bigs. Most teams now play a guy at center that's most of the time undersized compared to what centers were 10 years ago at center, and then they actually have a small forward actually playing power forward. But when you look at Boston, they have Al Horford, who's 6'10", but who's like a Bane type of shoulders with 6'10". He's a thick guy.
He's so old.
Yeah, but he's still good.
He was playing with Joe. He was doing Joe Noah.
He was going against
Corey
Stoudemire
Brewer.
back in the day when he was on the Hawks. Yes, we know this. But he's a thick guy, and he's big, and they have him at power forward. And then they have Robert Williams, who's also a thick guy at 7 foot. So they got some big guys in there to clog it up. And Joel, when you throw it into him, all he's going to want to do is post up mostly. He shoots an occasional 3, but you're having him post up when they have 2 bigs, 2 real bigs. They basically are playing 2 centers. And you got them there to stop Joel, and then nothing else works.
Whenever they just double teaming Joel, they really just double teaming Joel and letting Tobias. If Tobias make him, Tobias make it.
And they're gonna win the percentages when you're betting on Tobias.
Facts.
And so it really doesn't make sense. And when they let Harden cook, it's like Harden can beat his matchups on the perimeter. He can get around Smart. He can get around Brown. He can get around Tatum. He can get around the guards that the Celtics play. So he has a much better.
Kobe White.
I feel like that they should play through Harden and Maxey and try to play fast break basketball, because I feel like if they try to play slow man basketball with running a bunch of post ups for Joel Embiid, they'll lose by 40 every night. That's basically what I'm trying to say. It's not gonna work.
I can see it. So you already got the picks. My co-host saying this is going 6 games. He got Boston in 6. I got Philly in 7. All right, and then also, we got the final bracket. Oh no, my bad. I forgot. We got to talk about the man of honor, the real MVP of the NBA.
Yeah, we're gonna go over basically the last bracket, the results of the first round. talk a little trash to the people that went fishing. And one of the guys that went fishing, I'll move out of the way so y'all can see this. Grizzlies informed Dillon Brooks that he will not be back under any circumstances via Shams. And basically what they're saying is that they're moving on for Dillon Brooks. And a lot of people are criticizing this move by the Memphis Grizzlies because they did it so quickly. I mean, a lot of the players haven't even had a chance to do all of their exit interviews, and you're already announcing to the world, or I don't know if this was leaked, that you're not bringing back this man at any means, when you actually made him multiple contract offer extensions throughout the season, and now you're basically trying to throw him under the bus and blame him for everything.
I mean, this
when
is
you
what
had people like Ja making a fool of themselves all season, and they should share a part in the blame.
This is when you don't have veteran leadership. When you don't have no veterans but Adams, and nobody. I mean, he's tall and big, but it ain't nobody really scared of Adams.
Well, Adams isn't even a talker like that.
Exactly. You got Adams. Then I heard like that. Everybody, the whole organization is new. The stars are new. Everybody on the team is young. So this is like young problems with young people, young things that young organizations go through. But that is messed up how they just outed him. And as soon as the season over with, they was like deuces. Like they could have at least waited until the summer to be like, all right, he gone.
They embraced him all season and made him seem like he was a key part of their young future. And they offered him multiple contract extensions like they wanted him. And then they get embarrassed in the series. And then it's like, oh, we no longer want you on the team under any means. And, that's how we feel now. So I feel it makes Memphis look corny, which they already did after Josh said they were fine in the West. And they clearly weren't fine in the West, because we know we know LeVon James from O Block was going to send 4KT Ja home. It's O Block, baby.
Oh my God. But okay, moving on. So the recap, man, how you feeling about how these playoffs this year shaping up?
Let's continue this conversation. How did you feel about the Lakers at 7th that had to win the play-in, upsetting the Memphis Grizzlies?
I'm happy. I already knew about that. Once Dillon Brooks started poking the bear, I already knew the bear was going to eat a sandwich.
What was LeBron's quote? If there's a me and a bear are in the woods, get the bear help, or something like that.
Oh Lord. Oh yeah, I saw that when he was it help the bear.
Yeah, help the bear. Yeah,
and that's embarrassing. I mean, he beat him. I'm not surprised, because I mean, a lot with this whole playoff series. Like
he gave him 2 40 pieces. He said he don't expect no one until they give him 40, and they gave him a 20-point, 20 rebound, and then they beat him by 40 the next game.
True, and then with this whole Western Conference series, like before the playoffs even started, the West is already like butt cheek tight. It was all like a game apart. It's like one game you could have went from the 11th seed all the way to the 4th or 3rd seed.
Yeah, it was butt cheek tight.
So
you said it.
So I mean, with that series, I'm not surprised about that. I mean, I'm real disappointed. What about the Kings and the Warriors?
You know what I just noticed?
What?
It's Gohan's throwing up GDK.
Oh Lord.
Gohan was riding around with King Von. We're sorry. We didn't mean to throw up anything. It's just a Dragon Ball Z shirt. But yeah, I mean, I knew that they were doomed in. And plus, Adams was hurt. And I know that without Adams, I don't think that Jaren Jackson Jr., who was the Defensive Player of the Year, was enough to handle AD by himself. And he clearly wasn't. But let's talk about the other matchups. You know, we did talk about the Lakers-Warriors series in our predictions, but what do you think about the Warriors coming back after losing Game 6 at home and winning Game 7 against the Kings?
I'm real disappointed in that, but I mean, once Fox injured his finger, I knew, man, he had the Kobe mentality. He don't got Mamba mentality, because I remember Kobe, he had messed up fingers, messed up leg, torn Achilles. At one point of the whole season, he was shooting the ball with his left hand.
Yep, facts.
So I mean, this is just. I mean, once I realized
I think they're just too young.
But I mean, honestly, people were saying that this is just the Warriors, the playoff Warriors. Somebody gets injured. It's always every year. They took out Kevin Love.
No, I'm saying, yeah, a lot of their seasons where they've won, that they've got lucky where the other teams have gotten injured and taken advantage of that. But yeah, that's definitely happened. You know, when they did win their first championship, LeBron was trying to do it with Dellavedova because Kyrie and K-Love were already hurt. So, I mean, they did catch some lucky breaks. That's definitely true. But also, what did you think? You know, I thought let me just say one thing about that. I thought it was hilarious when Curry said light the beam after beating him in Game 7. That's the last thing I'm going to say on that series. Light the beam. But let's talk about the Clippers throwing in the towel and Kawhi looking like they were going to take over when they won Game 1 and then they lost 4 straight and Kawhi only played like a little bit.
I can't believe he missed like majority of the whole season just to get injured. But I understand, like it's on the same. He had an injury on the same leg as his previous injury, but it's not the same type of injury. So he wants to be real cautious about that. But I mean, I feel like Stephen A. Smith says, it might be time to retire him.
Might be time. Yeah, I don't think they're getting the bang for their bargain, and Kawhi and Paul George would definitely be an epic pick.
They both need to retire.
In 2K, they're awesome together, but in real life, they're always injured. So, I mean, what can you really do with that? They both have injury history, and I don't know, Clipper Nation, if that'll ever change. I mean, y'all even experienced that with Chris Paul, and he left, and he still got the Clipper Nation curse of getting hurt in the playoffs. I mean, here he is, for Phoenix, getting hurt here in the second round against Denver. But also, what did you think about Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, where your cat father, the big cat, losing to Denver?
Konnichiwa. But all I gotta say is, Rudy Gay?
Yeah, not Rudy Gay. Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. Like my bad. Like Rudy Gobert, he gotta learn how to shoot because right now, like it's two big people. Like you can't have two big people.
The big cat can shoot.
I mean,
he can shoot threes at a decent
he's still
clip.
big. Like he needs to be done. Someone like
you don't think 2 7-footers can really play with each other, even though one can shoot threes?
You can have 2 7-foot. You can't.
They have to both be able to shoot threes.
It's not working out. They need. I'd rather you take one out and
you would basically choose the big cat. You would trade Big Cat and keep Gobert.
Trade Big Cat.
You're choosing Big Cat over Gobert
and send them.
Or Gobert over Big Cat.
Send them to the Lakers for AD.
Put in the comments below if you had to choose as a GM. Are you choosing to move Big Cat or are you choosing to move the Gobert report?
Yeah, we need to know. Next game.
I'm moving the Gobert report. I'm keeping Big Cat.
Nah, I'm getting rid of Big
Cat. But Anthony Edwards is not that guy, pal. LaMelo Ball will always be better than you, and that's why he won Rookie of the Year over you. You suck.
I mean, because think about it. You've already seen Big Cat do this already without Gobert.
You know who ruined Big Cat's career?
The Kardashians.
Yeah. Who? What's that girl he's with now?
Woods. I don't know, the Woods lady. Her name's the last
Jordan
name.
Woods.
Jordan Woods. Yeah.
Unforgivable. Yeah, because didn't AK say he hit that? DJ Academics?
Back in the chubby days?
He was drunk. He said it was after he had like 20-piece and 3 double cheeseburgers. Well, we got to talk about the East. We'll break this down real quick and then we'll get out of here. We had Giannis getting hurt and playing a couple games, but the Heat giving a gentleman's sweep as the 8th seed. Has the 8th seed given a gentleman's sweep to the number one?
Miami Heat owns Giannis. No matter, even when the bubble, every time they play, they already know.
They build the wall.
Build the wall. Giannis can't run through that. If Middleton make it. That's all he really got. I mean,
I think that's the easy part with playing Milwaukee because you're not worried about Lopez anymore. You're not worried about Bobby Portis. You're only worried about Middleton. I mean, and even Drew Holiday, who's like always an all defensive player, he's really not that much of a scorer. So you kind of could live with, honestly, Drew Holiday. I'd honestly live with him shooting a wide open 3-pointer. So, and you're going to live with Giannis shooting. So you build the wall for the whole team. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is make sure that someone's attached to Middleton, and they're pretty easy to beat. I mean, they're honestly pretty easy to beat in 2K if you just play them like that.
Facts. Next game. How you feel about the whole Cavs versus Knicks? You are you surprised? We're not
surprised at all because I knew that the guys that got traded from the Utah Jazz for being failures, being Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, would also be failures no matter wherever they went. So we already saw that Gobert was a failure as the 8th seed in the West. And then we're going to see Donovan Mitchell, who actually played good enough to get home court, was also a failure in the East whenever he got beat by the 5th seed by the Knicks, and he was thoroughly outplayed by Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson made him look like a C-level player. And for a guy who could do all the highlight dunks and the highlight plays in the regular season, he definitely looked like he's the modern Eastern Conference James Harden when it comes to showing up in the playoffs. He might as well just got blocked by 40-year-old Ginobili, just like Harden did when he was with the Rockets.
I mean, I gotta say this is still a close team. Like if this would have happened again, you play the whole series over.
Oh, this
again.
is your team now in 2K.
Who the Cap?
You've been trying to defend
Of course,
him.
man, the Cap.
Just because you throw lobs to Mitchell and you pass to Garland. And you throw lobs to Fro man Jared Allen.
Cut his afro. That's probably
and
why
you
they
throw
lost.
lobs to Mobley.
All right, whatever, man. Whatever. Next game we got the Brooklyn Nets versus the Sixers. I'm not even surprised the Brooklyn Nets lost. I'm surprised they even made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, it was actually really surprising that the Nets minus KD and Kyrie actually did really good with all the rotation players from the Phoenix Suns, such as Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, and also getting Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie from the Dallas Mavericks. They're basically an army full of role players. Now, I honestly thought that Brooklyn, even as a lower seed, could win any series as long as they didn't go against Philly. Well, they went against Philly because they have absolutely no size. They start Claxton at center, and he's severely undersized in the weight-wise when it comes to Embiid. So
that is true.
I thought they would have been good literally against any other team in the East, that they would have been a tough out for anyone, but I thought Philly would destroy them, which they did. They swept him because they have no answer for the big man, the MVP, Joel Embiid.
Facts. And next and final game, we got the Atlanta Hawks versus the Boston Celtics. You think it's time for them to get like? Do you think they need Trae Young on the Hawks?
Well, I mean, I think Trae Young is the Hawks. I think he's the identity of the team, and I think even with trading for DeJounte Murray, that he's still the best player on the team.
You think he's better than?
And I think he had an epic playoff performance. I feel like he always has an epic playoff performance, even if he doesn't win. But if you remember, 2 years ago, he willed his team all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals as a lower seed and shocked everyone. So I don't know. I think they're maybe one piece away, him and DeJounte, and then maybe get a big man or a good power forward with some of the all the players they have. Maybe trade a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them, and some picks, and get another all-star caliber player. I think you're right in there in the contention with the East. You could definitely be a top 4 seed every year if you make a good trade like that, and always find yourself in the thick of things. But if they don't think they're able to do that, and they don't think that they're going to do anything, and they want to rebuild, now might be the best time to move Trae Young, and if you want to build around DeJounte or not in the future, you could also move him too.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the Atlanta Hawks is just a mature version of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah,
it can go either way, but I mean, we gonna see next year, see how it goes. But I mean,
dang, how do you feel? We almost did an hour.
I love it.
Sports
I love
podcast.
these sports topics. I love the sports episode. And
Let us know if you love these NBA playoff videos. Put it down in the comments. Like the video. It's the biggest way, easiest way to help us grow. And remember, we have all of our other channels down in the description. Check out everything we do. We got a clips. We got a gaming channel. We got a reaction page. Get us to 5K subs, so that way we could take over the world, just like we try to do every day.
Hey.
And oh yeah. Let me get us out of here so we can sign off. Well, let me throw us in the middle. Should I give us some outro music?
Let's get it. You already know, man. If you made it this far to the episode, you might as well hit that like button, comment some, subscribe. Help brother out, man. Help our channel do better. If you see anything that you want us to improve on, comment. Let us know. Let us know about your sports picks. Are you upset about LeBron not winning any MVP, getting any MVP points? My co-host is crazy.
That's my Abby for Jamal Murray on my Twitter.
With the handout?
I knew Jamal Murray was the man since the bubble.
Oh man, we gonna see how it go, man. Let us know how you feel about the Phoenix game. Is they gonna get swept this series? I mean, it might happen.
Gentlemen sweep.
Nah, they might get swept 4-0.
Are you ready for the outro music?
Let's get it, baby. And there you have it.
Oh, I got one more surprise for you. I forgot to close the roof of the building.
What?
Look, I'm gonna close the roof. Oh yeah, close the sunroof.
Open the roof.
The roof was open. I closed it. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's TFTC Sports, baby. We'll see you next week for more playoff basketball coverage. TFTC Sports.
Let's go.